Alright friends, let's take it up from here. We're doing question 4. It says if v of r equals 4/3 pi r cubed, find the following. So we're going to start with 3/4. So what we're going to do, again, is just plug and chug. Everywhere that there's an r, I'm going to replace with 3/4. So this becomes 4/3 pi 3/4 cubed. Okay? So I'm going to solve this, but what I want to stress when you solve this is to really think about what's going on. And this is why I really recommend when you do math, and you always keep hearing me say this, is to understand what you're doing, not just to do it. Okay, so there's this process that's involved, and a lot of people probably just sat there and did 3/4 in the calculator, cubed it, and then multiplied by 4/3, and they got their answer, and they're like, boom, that's it, I'm done. That kind of takes away from the creativity of this. And what's important to note is that 4/3 and 3/4 are reciprocals. So let's say, as you will see in the future, you'll have tests where you don't have calculators and you have to be able to do this by hand. So how do we approach this? Well, the 4/3 cancel out with the 3/4, and I'm left with 3/4 times 3/4. And so 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, and we're left with 9 over 16 times pi. And there's my answer. So if you just got a little creative with this problem and realized that 3/4 cubed is just 3/4 times 3/4 times 3/4, you don't even need a calculator to do this. You can break it down in 2 seconds. Hopefully you saw that. If you didn't, hopefully you now do. That's a nice little technique to use. And it's actually, crazy as this might sound, it's easier than doing it on the calculator, as long as you can do 3 times 3 and 4 times 4. Awesome. Let's move on. Boop. Next question. V of r plus 1 minus v of r minus 1. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to write v, we're going to write out what the function is. So v of r is 4/3 pi r cubed, and then I'm going to write out what they give us, v of r plus 1. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first part. And so we just replace every r with r plus 1. So 4/3 pi r plus 1. Okay. And from here, there's some math that I can do here, but I'm not going to stress out too much about it right now. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the other one. I like to rewrite it. Vr is equal to 4/3 pi r cubed. Vr minus 1 is 4/3 pi r minus 1 cubed. Okay. Alright, so if we put them together, we have 4/3 pi r plus 1 cubed minus 4/3 pi r minus 1 cubed. Alright, now, if you were in prep, this would be the extent of what I would ask you to do, and that'd be your answer. So I'm not going to ask you to actually FOIL out r plus 1 cubed in r minus 1 cubed. However, if you're in pre-AP, or if you wanted to, you could do this, and it's really not too bad as long as you remember you know what? No, that's fine. We'll leave it like that. That's fine. If you do want to see how this looks like when it's all foiled out, let me know. This will suffice. I will say this one thing. As you witness me having multiple thoughts in my head at once, you could do this if you wanted to. So either of these are acceptable, and we'll leave it at that. Alright, hopefully I didn't confuse you. Hopefully this makes sense. Let me know if I got to redo a video. Not a problem.